Mentors&MINT Show with Olumide Bensi. And just before we go on, I just want to apologize for the glitches and all kind of obstruction that has been on for a while. But first and foremost, I need to thank you for, making this a date. However, this is Mentors&MINT Show, and this is our Monday episode where we are going to be discussing or dissecting topical business issues. And however, before we go on, today's topic as presented, I think there's need for me to quickly introduce our guest who is here to dissect the topic for us. But before we do that, we all understand. Before we do that, there's something very important that we need to look at. The record has it that agriculture contributes 4% of the global gross domestic product on a yearly basis, and this has been stable since far back 2000 till date, which means agriculture has been contributing significantly to the global gross domestic product. Now, narrowed down to Africa, same agriculture has been said to be contribute about 26 to about 35%, considering not just Africa but including all developing countries. And this has also been consistent for a while. Now you agree with me that looking at this percentage, then agriculture is something that is very significant with the developing economy, and it's something that we cannot do without. We cannot either underemphasize or overemphasize. However, if agriculture is contributing 25 to 35% of the national gross domestic product for developing country, then it means that agribusiness is extremely significant and it's something we cannot overlook. And that's why I have here with me our guest today who is going to help us dissect this and to help us at the same time show us a way forward to be able to mastermind this agribusiness in a way that it will be profitable to all and will continue to maintain its place in the gross domestic product. And I have here with me an associate research professor of resource economics from the Department of Agribusiness Management, Forestry Research Institute of Nigeria, in person of Dr. Isaac Olakunle Jerry Oyewo, PhD. Dr. Olakunle Jerry Oyewo is a life member of Forestry Association of Nigeria, fellow Institute of Entrepreneurship Management and Human Resources Development and Professional, member of the African Association of Agricultural Economics, including membership of many other professional organizations locally and internationally. And with me today is Dr. Isaac Olakunle Jerry Oyewo, who will be helping us dissect the topic as titled Business in Developing the Economy, Merits, Demerits, and Way Forward. So, Dr. Oyewo, you're welcome.
Thank you very much. Viewers, great to be here.
To have you once again. Now, having understand that agribusiness is something not underemphasized. Now, looking at agribusiness from the component, which has to do with the input provider, moving down to the producer, then moving down to the processor, and at the same time, from the processor, you move down to the distributors and the retailer of the services and the business, and at the same time, you come back to the support services. Now, looking at these 5 components, what will you say has been the general challenge that has been impending agribusiness? Over to you, Dr. Oyewo.
Thank you very much. Like my uncle has said, I am Oyekunle, not Olakunle. And in the real world of agribusiness, you see, in a layman definition, it's just like you are making every sector of agriculture a business. For example, you make animal husbandry a business, you make forestry a business, you make agricultural engineering a business, you make all fields of agriculture a business, meaning that you want to make profits. So, like he has said, he has so many bottleneck challenges in agribusiness. But the major one that cut across is the finances, the finance and the infrastructure. We have factors of production where we have land, labor, and other thing. But the major one is finance, capital. When there's no capital, there's no way you can venture into agribusiness because agribusiness enterprise entails big heavy machineries, so which are capital intensive. So capital and infrastructure, such like road, the building you're going to use, and other social amenities. So if all these are lacking, there is going to be a problem in agribusiness. But the major one that cut across is the finance and the infrastructure. Thank you very much.
Okay, well, if you say finance is the major one that cut across, yet we still see that agriculture, I mean, according to record, agriculture employs the major population of the developing um, nations. Now, record has it that it employs over 800 million population of the developing country. Now, if
I go hide it.
finance
I
is a
dey call you,
problem,
you no answer me. Why you no answer me now?
how have they been able to do it in a way that is still employing the larger population of, I mean, a big population of the developing world?
Please please come over with a question, please. I'm very sorry.
Okay, what I'm saying is that you say finance is the problem to be able
Yeah.
to start up agricultural businesses. Now, if you're saying finance is the problem, see, it's a very large population of the developing countries. In fact, record has it that it employs over 800 million. So, if finance is actually a problem, how have individuals been able to scale to the extent that it is still creating employment opportunity for a lot of people within the developing world or within developing countries, so to say? Are we still here, Doctor? Doctor, can you hear me? I think there's a little glitch. Doctor is still here, but I'm not sure he's hearing me. Yes, Doctor, are you there? Hello? Okay, I'm sure Doctor will come back. He's still going to join. He's going to come back. I want to believe there's some glitches which has to do with his network or whatever. However, he has said a lot with respect to, I mean, finances being the issue. As far as I'm concerned, I want to believe finance is always an issue with heavy business and not just agriculture, so to say. But however, there's still a lot that can be done in that area. I think we lost Doctor. Yes, I think we lost him, but I want to believe he's going to join us back soonest. Yeah, hello, Doctor, are you here now?
Sorry for the breaking network, please. Yes, quickly, like you have said, you see, agriculture, like you have said, when all are failed, everyone go back to land. And an economy that did not embrace agriculture, it fail. There will be hunger. So there's no one that will not want to involve in feeding, number one, raw material, number two. So let's talk of it. For everything you do all around the economy, it involves raw material, and those raw material are gotten from the agriculture. So, however, many people say agriculture is a capital intensive to set up. No, but at the same time, yes. By the time you have the four corners of your room, you can set up agribusiness. And when you look at the GDP today, even in Nigeria, it's a small scale enterprise that generates larger percentage of the IGR for the economy. And from that IGR, and those small scale are agribusiness. Because when you see all these people, industries, like big industries, small scale industries, my mama put on the roadside, everyone involved in agribusiness, using agricultural produce, agricultural raw material. So let's come of it. How many industry in Nigeria, particularly? So, but when you look at the small scale, food industry, animal industry, uh, uh, what can we say? Even for the petroleum industry and every other industry. So we make use of agricultural produce through the value chain. So by the time the end product is what you see, that you see on the outside that will turn into be agribusiness. And however, there's what we call brokers. You may be for a land, we call that is what we call landless farmer. You are a farmer, but you don't have a farm. And you have farmers on the field. And you have industry in Lagos, in Abuja, all over sea. And you know where you can source this raw material. So you can be the intermediary between the overseas, the industry, and the farmer. So therefore, you bring out this produce from the farmer into the industry. So definitely, you serve as a broker. So you can see that no day, there's no single day that every individual will not involve in the smallest thing, which is food. That is why you see that agriculture employed virtually larger percentage of the populace. Thank you very much.
Okay, now you've been able to break it down why has been able to employ a very large proportion of the population, especially in the developing nations, which is not like that in developed nations. Now, but the truth is that in these developing nations where agriculture has been able to employ large percentage of the population, a very significant percentage of the population. Now, what will you say with respect to technology? I mean, linking it up with agriculture. Will you say that in developing nations, um, they've been able to up the game to maintain up, I mean, current technological standard to be able to operate their agribusiness better? Or will you say they're still lacking in the area of technology? How will you relate technological advancement to agribusiness, especially in the developing nations?
In fact, honestly, thank you very much. That's what we refer to smart agriculture. You see, technology enhance productivity. What a single man can do when you involve technology, a technology can do what a 5 man or 10 men can do at a time. So this enhance productivity and efficiency. So we cannot overrule technology in agricultural production, even in agribusiness, because this is where lies the value chain. So how do you break down? Okay, you have tuber of cassava, and you want to break. Can you consume only tuber, raw tuber? If you are consuming only raw tuber, you are only losing out, because tuber has so many value chain. We can get tapioca, we can get ethanol, we can get feed for animals, we can get gari in Nigerian here, you can get so many other byproduct from this cassava. So using of technology, this can be broken down to many uh, 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 components. So technology enhance productivity and efficiency. So there's no way we can rule out technology in the agribusiness. Thank you so much.
Okay, now if you say technology enhances, I mean, businesses and including agribusiness. Now, for same technology, there has been several issues around technology with respect to agriculture, so to say. Um, and I will want you to help throw a bit of light on that. Now, take for instance um, the genetically motivated or mutilated seeds and products. There's been a lot of controversy around it. Now, that is just an example, which some may want to say that is an adverse effect of technology being brought into agribusiness, what will you say with
Yeah.
respect to? Will you say technology has some demerits with respect to
Yeah.
agribusiness, having highlighted some of the merits in terms of increased efficiency, labor efficiency, and all sorts?
Yeah. 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 You are right. You see, there is no any new technology or any invention that will not have its own merit and a demerit. When talking about, okay, for example, now AI, any of the agribusiness farmer that did not that will not adopt AI, they will not lose a job, but they will lose the job for those that are AI inclined. Now, like the merit is all this technology. You see, we're saying that like, okay, like this GMO, before you can bring GMO into the economy or into the populace, a local man will be saying, this, that, and that. That's part of the demerit. That people tend not to adopt that in quick time. And then you know what the effect to have on the farmer livelihood, and also loss of diversity, the biodiversity. And also look at the potential environmental and health risk on technology. We're talking about climate change these days now. And also we look at the displacement of small older farmers. Mechanization now, you have to cultivate a large hectares of land. But all these small older farmers will be displaced by the time you bring in technology. But it is always good that every small older farmer should key into technology. The adoption of this genetically modified seed and other inputs. You see, most of the farmer, if you are not oriented or you are not well educated on these things, it is always hard to adopt this what we are saying. Are we there?
Yes, yes, I'm here.
Are you with me?
Just some little glimpses.
Thank you very much. So it's hard for most of the farmer to adopt new technology. So invariably, it affects income, it affects sustainability. And when you have, okay, look at this technology, okay, like technology now, we have smart agriculture, we have electrical sprinkler, we have harvesters. But in Nigeria now, epileptic power supply is a major problem. And if farmer could key into this, how would they be able to sustain productivity over time without other source of power supply like solar and other things? So all these, if we are talking about this technology, they are expensive. So farmer needed to be helped by providing all these what we are all these we can let's say cushion effects. That's why I think in the economy now there is always a subsidy on food products, especially uh, product from locally made foods from our farmer there. There should be subsidy. So all these large equipment, these are smart, highly sophisticated technology. Using like example now, using of drone is part of technology. But how many farmer or small scale farmer can afford to use a drone or to afford a drone? So these are the
Yeah, doctor, are you still there? Sorry, viewers. I think there's been some glitches from the beginning. I don't know. The network has been somehow funny. I think we lost him, but he's coming back again.
Hello, are you with me?
Okay. So, doctor, are you,
Are you with me?
yes, yes, I can hear you clearly now.
Okay. Please go on.
Okay. Having said all this with respect to the merit of technology, and at the same time, you've talked about but will you say there is a demerit of technological advancement to agriculture? you agree to that? There is a demerit.
Yes, yes, yes. To some extent, to some extent, because we have different type of adopters in the farming system. We have early adopters, we have slow adopters, and then we have people that will not even adopt. So before you can adopt, the havoc it will have caused on this technology. And then this all these technologies like drone, other industrial heavy duties that cause earth hazard against farmer. For example, we have some farms in Kwara State, even Ogun State, like Goshonga farming. This farming is a technology farm, but it displaced the local farmer who operate on small scale. Then the waste disposal from this large farm through the use of technology into the river. And when this river takes the waste, the chemical, other thing into the stream, it goes down to affect other small scale farmer. So there are also demerits. It depends on the view of individual, but in generally there are also demerits. Thank you.
Do you believe that this demerit can be managed with same technology,
Yes,
same advancement in agriculture?
yes, it can be. It can be. It can be.
Come on, throw a little light on that.
So yeah, yeah, it can be. That is where we talk about sustainability, agricultural sustainability. That's we're gonna talk about subsidy. That's where we talk about agricultural finance to the farmers. So by the time the farmer are able to have their hand on this, in fact, they will be able to uh, acquire all the implements on their own. Two, the climate change data, the farmer will have access to this data. Therefore, they'll be able to know when and when not to plant. Okay, and also to these climate factors, also farmer will be able to have other sources of cropping system. All right, instead of you to say or practicing mixed farming or practicing alley farming or practicing agroforest farming, which will in turn bring all year round farming system. Okay, and normally like my uncle, is there any single day that you know what to eat?
Exactly. Of course, there's none.
So very good. So that meaning that there's no single season, there's no single period that we should neglect farming. So farming should be all year round system. So and where this technology also have good intention, also have their advantage. But now, due to technology advancement, due to sustainability, training, and other thing, farmers have been now able to manage all this technology because there's no how. We just have to change and adopt this technology so that we can be food sufficient. So government intervention is one of those area that this farmer can key into this area through what it's giving loan to the farmer at the desired rate and then supplying seed, viable seed to the farmer, rent land, giving land to the farmer like what we call the agricultural village. Farmer that do not have access to land on their own, government can also find a place and hectare of land for farmer, and then supply of these implements at a subsidized rate, even at a low rate or even free, which all this blame can be attached to the local government, their association. So every farmer will go take with the supervision of the government. So this will make farming easy for you and I and the community and the economy as a whole. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you so much, Doctor. But this will also bring me to a very sensitive aspect of agriculture, which has to do with, well, maybe may still have to do with technology now. And I think this has to do with storage. Now, what will you say about storage system in agriculture, and especially when you narrow it down to the developing nation? Do you think it's the storage system that has been a problem that has not been able to make us to be able to
In fact,
get enough? sufficiency from our agri produce
In
and
fact,
agribusiness today?
you have just nailed one of the very vital challenges that we are having in agriculture in terms of agribusiness. Storage is very poor. That's why we have a lot of wastages in converting all agricultural products into numerous byproducts. There's no let me say there's no, because in a developing country and developed country economy, there must be a ready-made storage facility for every farmer, either by freezing. When talking about agribusiness and agriculture, we're not talking about planting crop and only. We're talking about seafood too. We're talking about uh,
Of course.
uh, yeah, exactly.
You're talking about
So
cash crop that can
now,
be exported for foreign exchange.
exactly, because by the time a farmer is giving a seed this year to plant, we believe that seed is a viable seed. By the time you harvest, you should be able to store this seed in an available storage that will make you able for you to be able to use in the other farming season. But when there is no storage, these are being eaten up by insects, rodents, and other vices. And okay, like for example, I don't know if anybody knows Bomosho. There's what we call Bomosho mango. By the time you go to Bomosho in one season, you will see Bomosho mango everywhere. By the time you move from one market to the other, you see beside the market woman, you see a lot of spoiled mango because there's no storage to do that. When you look at the banana, plantain, also, there's no, these are perishable agricultural produce. The storage is not encouraging. So that is why we are encouraging value chain so that
Hey, doctor, are you still there? Yes. Hello, doctor. Seems there's a little glint. Okay, I guess doctor is trying to tell us is expected of the government to help the farmers with respect to storage system, and it's trying to make us understand that one of the major problems that we've been having, especially in the developing nations, has to do with the fact that there's been a very bad storage system of our agri produce. Doctor, are you back? Hello, doctor, are you there? Okay, I guess we lost him. Um, Hello, doctor. Doctor, are you back? So I guess we lost him. Okay, yes, I guess we lost him. However, doctor has been able to do a lot. He has been able to tell us a lot about the challenges of agriculture, and more like he's also trying to give us the way forward, what are expected of farmers and what is also expected of the government. And, and he's also trying to make us understand that technology is not absolutely free from the demerit, despite the fact that um, technology has done a lot to help increase the efficiency of business in terms of the distribution of, you know, uh, yeah. So okay, doctor, we still have you. Are you still there? Can we hear you?
yes, I'm with you. Yeah, you can hear
Okay.
me very
So
loud
we
and clear.
lost you. You were trying to lay a point. You were trying to drive home a point at the time we lost you.
Yeah, what you see, what I was saying is that uh okay, yes. As I was referring to Bomosho mango, that storage is very poor. Now that is why we encourage farmer to diversify by value chain. You can't just have Ogbomoso mango all throughout the year. It's a perishable uh, product. And also other perishable like vegetables, efo, and other thing like that. And even our fish, they are also like a small span produce that need to be stored over a long period of time. But due to this, we encourage organic farming. We encourage other sustainable agricultural produce because, for example, now as a farmer, I don't buy poultry animals outside again. I don't buy them again. I rear them and I eat by myself. Because by the time you go to the market, you see all these poultry, these broilers have been fed with genetically modified feeds or some other combination of feeds that are toxic to human health, which I know. Like like you see, instead of you to raising a bird from when a day
Sorry
old to
to
like
cut you there. Sorry to cut you there, doctor. So are you saying now that the genetically mutilated seeds are not, you know, safe for human consumption, or are you saying that some of them are just we may need to do away from them? Is that what you're trying to say?
yes, you see, they are good for us because this is technological age. Okay, that will raise between instead of you waiting for 7 years, 9 years of a crop to yield, we have lower gestation. So only about few of them which are toxic, not all. We are not saying about all because this age now you can't be waiting for donkey years of before you can harvest and make profit. Okay, so that is one of those scientifically that breeding that we are doing. So it is encouraging, not that okay, like now we have this sweet orange that are seedless orange. Many people run away from it because of their belief that that orange don't have seed, don't consume it. Oh, but they are good and viable. Okay, these are
That's
and
why you
are
feel they are
flesh.
good and viable, because
Yes,
as
they are
for a
flesh.
layman who is not an agriculturist or who does not have good knowledge of agriculture, and then you are trying to
Okay,
introduce an orange that is seedless, it looks
yeah,
very hard, very absurd. In
yes,
fact, it looks
okay,
mysterious. So, how will you be able to, convince an average person that an orange without seed or an orange that is seedless is good
all
for
right.
consumption?
Yeah, that's what I said. That's why we said that a man, it will be difficult for them to adopt such. But because you and I, we have tested it, we have seen it, we have researched on it, we have worked on it, and we are consuming it. And the viability of those orange you see as big, fleshy, juicy, but seedless. So I will have to and very sweet. So how we have to let you that this is what we are consuming. It's not that they want to go and bring one spiritual somewhere, one kini because average Nigerian believe that you must plant a seed before anything can germinate. But
That's
but
not only
these
in
are
Nigeria. We have more than our Nigerian brothers here. This. Don't forget, we are on live on the internet, and this is global. We have a lot of people watching us. Now, let's not
e-
limit it to just an average Nigerian. But the point I'm trying to make is this. Now, naturally, we know that when you want to, well, we know that orange comes with seeds, which is the natural form
yes,
of it. Now, you are now introducing an orange to me that does not have a seed. Now, how will you be able to convince me that I'm protected, that this does not have an after effect on me if I consume it? This goes
yeah,
beyond just an African man. Any average person will want to look at it, logically, from what it's
yes,
quite different from what you have naturally known.
yes. You see, it is always hard at time to adopt change. Because of what you do not know, that's why you're not accepting it. But by the time you were able to be orientated and you have to adopt it because all this advanced country, that is what is practicing. They have little land, okay? Have little land. And now here we have vast of land which can be used for agriculture. So now bringing a seedless fruit, you will not even know in the first instance that does not have seed. So I have to convince that no, Mr. Lagbaja, oh my present and my uncle, this fruit is not barbaric. Aha. It is consumable, it is good, it is viable, it has no earth negative, it has no hazard on you, it has no this, and we have this NOA. We work with agricultural agency, and then we have extension officers who works in this area to orientate, and then we have seminar where we bring people together and show them and practice to them because some of these fruit I've forgotten they are they are done through grafting. Through grafting we plant them on another root of another plant, and then they germinate. So it's just normal general orange that everybody sees. In fact it is normal orange, but the only thing is it's bigger, it's fleshy. By the time you open it you see that no seed, you will have consumed it already and you will not die.
Now, just to um, help buttress your point, most of the juice, the processed juice we take, how do we know if there is take for instance, if an orange has been converted into a processed juice and you buy to drink, nobody bothers to know if the juice, I mean, if the
Either it's
orange
seedless
has
or
seed or
not.
whatever, so
Yes.
um, to an extent, I got your point, so to say. But I believe
and
this
and
thing you
even
said,
though,
a
let me
true
give you an
innovation.
example. Let me give you an example. Those days, that's what we call, we have pig. Our own local pig is a West African dwarf, those black one that snows around. But now go into every community, you won't see them again because they have been changed to foreign breeds. Now people consume those breeds. That's the like you see those the Yorkshire, the Duroc, and like that. Those white big one. So people consume them these days. So why don't they now say, oh, those are our black one? We are not going to consume them. We are not seeing them again. We are not going to consume this one. So it is changed over time. As I said, we have different level of adopters. The local, then the slower, the early adopter, and then the later adopters, and like that. So it is bound to happen. So and then look at this, and then once all these things are converted into meat, who cares? Who knows that these are genetically modified product? Nobody knows about that. So that's where I'm going. Thank you.
What will
5 minutes.
you give to farmers, and at the same time the nation as a whole, in terms of support from government and every necessary bodies that should help with respect to food production? What do you think can be done
Yes.
in order for us to
Yes.
ensure that there is food surplus all across the globe, not just with the developing nation alone now, but at the same both the developing nation and all across the globe? What do you think should be done
Yes.
as an
Yes.
agriculturist or as an economist? What do you think should
Yeah.
probably be done?
Yeah. I wanted to. Uh, you see, government have been trying in all phases anyway, but investment in infrastructure and development roads, storage facility, irrigation system, and the other infrastructure to support agribusiness, and also to provide access to finance through what I've mentioned earlier, uh, the Bank of India.
I think there's a little glitch. Doctor, are you still there? Doctor. Okay, doctor.
Yeah, are we together?
We are still here. We are still listening. Yes.
Yeah, yeah,
Proceed
yeah.
your point.
Is it to promote sustainable agriculture and to support agricultural sustainability, agricultural practices, and then such like organic farming, agroforestry, foster innovations and entrepreneurship, encourage innovation and entrepreneurship. Like for example, now there's what we call um, hydroponic farming. Hydroponic farming is a farming system that you rear fish in a pond. You use the water to plant crops, soilless crop, and the water in turn refine back to the fish again, and you feed the fish. The water from the fish again, to be dirty. There is a system, very, 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 very simple. It will be converted again. It will go to the crop. From the crop, these are soilless planting. It will grow to the crop. The crop will use up the nitrate from the water produced by the fish. Is used up to grow. The water goes back again to the fish. Can you see? So these are kind of what I believe we can involve in, and government in all tiers should also be able to support all our farmer by giving grants down to the local level. So this will help even our Nigerian youth. They are ready to involve in farming. Recently, for the past about 1 year now and to date, you see our farmers are millionaires. People who are going back to farm because it is easy to set up, but in the beginning, capital intensive, but over time is cost effective. So you make your profit, you make your gain, then sustainability. And now instead of you buying inorganic fertilizer, they use organic fertilizer. Look at that hydroponic farming now. They feed, you feed the fish, it will generate the nitrate. From there, the water goes to the crop. You are not applying any fertilizer again. The nitrate inside the water, the crop use them, then it grows. We consume the crop, organic fertilizer, and using the fish waste, and also poultry byproduct and waste are also in turn now used as organic fertilizer. So which are good for human consumption. They are good for our health. So all these are my advice that should be inculcated to our farming system. And if you can have grants, you can have subsidy, you can have infrastructure, good roads, very good road linking the urban to the rural area, electricity from rural and urban area to the rural area, easy movement of agricultural produce into the market. I think this will help the economy and help the farmers and help you and I. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. You've said a lot. But I just want to say something. With respect to grants, talking about grants for agriculture, are you going to say that there's no grant at all, or the grant is not enough, and then the government should do
Ah,
possibly?
is
Aside the
it?
government doing more, what is the farmers in terms of farmers coming together as a cluster? What are they trying to do for themselves to ensure? You see, um, when I was also asking you with respect to storage, the storage system, we had a glimpse, and that made me lost the question that I wanted to ask. Now, with respect to storage, now of course we know that storage requires a lot of facilities, some technological advancement that requires a lot of money and stuff like that, support from the government, support from several organizations. But the farmers themselves, don't you think that if farmers cohabit together, it can be easy to make some reasonable storage of most of all these products, and then it can later turn to cash? Because I think there's not been enough self-help from the side of the farmers. Or what do you think?
Yes. they arrange, they contribute, they can get it done. But you see, capital intensive. You cannot say a farmer or about 10 clusters of farmer, 20 clusters of farmer could acquire a tractor, a bulldozer. You see, they are very, very, very expensive. But if government can give them at a subsidized rate, this farmer can come together as a cooperative and acquire it. It will help them and to go a long way in solving the problem. But when you're talking about government, these days everything is now politically motivated. Government will release this for farmer. Before you know, farmer will release this will be released to farmer in Lagos State. Before you know, that tractor that has to be in Lagos, let's say Ojota or Ikorodu, you will see it in the Samfara. Maybe a fertilizer that have been say, okay, Letiosa, local government, this is your fertilizer. Before you know, it's being sold to Boronu. So you see, these are bottleneck that we have. The right channeling of government, is this subsidy or intervention? So farmer can come together and acquire this. They can, but you see, it is capital intensive. And you and I want to eat, and you and I want a very cheap byproduct or farming product, cheap one. And you're not saying farmer should go ahead and acquire such implement. Are you going to get it cheaper? So a thriving economy will not put all those load on the small scale farmer. Only the large farmer can acquire that. For example, Dangote is also a farmer. He can also acquire that. But how would he acquire that? He has to go and take loan. And that is where some of these farmers too go to banks, even and go to a commercial bank to get loan at a higher price, a higher rate. This is not good for farming. We're talking about consumption. We're talking about eradicating poverty. Okay, solving livelihood problem. Put table
Not even
on
food
the
surplus,
put
which is one of
food
the basic necessity of life.
exactly. Put food on the table. So when you're talking about large implement, farmer may not be able to. In fact, Nigerian small scale farmer may not be able to acquire that. Go to advanced economy, advanced country. They have this equipment for farmer. If farmer does not have money to buy, they go higher at a subsidized rate. Farmer does not have money, they form cluster groups together and go and hire in their local government. There was a time this was also done in one of these states I've been to. Tractor uh, are being given to the local government by local government. By farmer, whenever you need the tractor, go there, take tractor, hire it, and use it and bring it back. But before you know, you will not see the tractor at the locality. It has been given to the highest bidder that can pay more than the small order farmer. So look at the problem now. And you now say that our farmer are poor because they rely on hoe and cutlass. At this age, in fact, according to research, let me tell you the truth. Our small scale farmer, they use hoe and cutlass, and they are the majority that contributed to the IGR. So let's not talk of now giving farming implement. Do you think they will not do better? They will do far, far, far more better. So that's where we are going. So let us encourage our local farmer. Let us encourage our youth through this subsidy grant, even subsidized finances. You can give it to the cooperative farmer that once you borrow, pay back. Once you borrow, pay back at the subsidized rate. So when there is finance, everybody will want to work. You and I will want to work. Thank you.
Okay, yeah, doctor, you are a member of the Association of African Agric Economics, if I'm not mistaken. Now,
Yes,
this
sir.
is a professional body that also contributes a lot to agricultural businesses all around Africa, being a developing country. Now, what are you, as an association or possibly as agriculturists within Africa, I mean within the developing countries? What are you doing together in synergy in order to be able to ensure that there could be value transfer and exchange within the developing nations, and looking at me, sir?
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm
Okay.
with you, please.
So now, what are the African nations, or so to say, doing together as a synergy in order to be able to boost agricultural value chain
Agriculture.
within these countries, and also looking at the fact that the world is getting global, and considering the
Good
African
afternoon, sir.
continental free trade zone
Sit
that is
down.
ongoing. What
Come in and sit down.
are the agriculturists, the professional agriculturists who can help the amateurs?
Good
What are they
afternoon.
doing to ensure that there's a great collaboration within across borders, and then business can easily go on across borders and can exchange value?
The last statement, please. I can't hear the last statement, please.
I said, what do you think, or what have you been doing? What I mean, looking at what as the professionals in this business having such a voice from the member of the African Greek economics as an association, as a professional association. What are they doing
Yeah.
to ensure that value is being exchanged across, say, Africa now, which the organization is actually focused on? What are they doing to see that value in terms of agriculture is being exchanged across borders? And at the same time, what are they doing to, as a professional, how are they helping their amateurs to get more involved? Are you there?
Yes, I'm with you.
So how are they helping the amateurs get more involved? How are they helping to ensure that value is being exchanged or is being upgraded across border? And considering the fact that um, there is a globalization within Africa now, which has to do with the African continental free trade. So, what is this organization? What is um, the agriculturists that we have in Africa, and the professional organizations? What are they coming together to do to ensure that these trades becomes more attractive for others, and then it can be more lucrative too?
Right. Thank you very much. You see, that's back to what you're talking about GMO. You see, there is synergy between the African Cultural Economic Association, this professional association. That's why people in Nigeria, Ghana, Sierra Leone, all Africa country, we meet once in a year in this united country, sharing idea, bringing innovation, training, and bringing problem, challenges. By the time we now bring that together and we're together, and then we share our idea, we're trained, everybody go back home as a refined entity. So we go back to our home, we train our people. And then this association also uh, have synergy with government of Africa, depending on which of the country. So, like in Kenya, when you look at Kenya, South Africa, and Swaziland, and others, it's called of this country, even in Nigeria in particular. So there are synergy between this association and the government of the day. So by the time we come together, we're able to solve series of issues among ourselves. The communique is sent to each of the uh, 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 country as a part of the policy contribution to the economy. So, and that has been yielding a very positive responses. So we have been exchanging idea, exchanging program. The new technology found in Kenya can be also adopted and be brought to Nigeria. The new technology in Nigeria also taken back to Ghana. Ghana adopted it, then take to Swaziland, take to, you see. So that is how we exchange idea. Then donor, we also attract donor on any of these implement or that we think we could not do. So this donor have kind of grant that they release for the implementation of this. So it depends on the country that they want to establish two, this grant will be channeled to that area, depending on the country you want to use. Like Japan, we have some of this grant from Japan, from Korea, from World Health Organization, from IFRO. So there are grants that also can, by the time we are done, this grant can also go to each of these country for the implementation of our policy, which in turn change the farmer and which is on in turn enhance productivity and sustainability. Thank you.
So thank you so much, Doctor. It's really good having you, and we hope we'll still have to bring you back some other time when it has to do with issues as it relates agriculture and as it relates agribusiness. So thank you so much for honoring us. Thank you for having us. Thank you for the spare time. So
Thank you.
viewers, great thanks to you too for
Thank you
sparing your
very
time
much.
to listen to Doctor and to be to create time to also watch this show. I hope we've all been able to, I mean, get some value from the show. So thank you so much, and see we'll see you again next week as we come with other very topical business issues to dissect for the benefit of growth. Thank you so much.
Thank you. You are
Cheers.
welcome. Gospel Alive viewers. Goodbye. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Doctor.